Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Neelambujasya Balkomalangam Ita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations Lord Rama, whose complexion is like the blue lotus, is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Sri Ramacharita in Ayodhya Kanda, verse number 323. The context at this stage is that Bharata has returned to Ayodhya, and having received blessings from elders and sages and saints, he has commenced his ascetic life in the absence of Rama in Nandigram, that is little at a distance from Ayodhya. That's the storyline. Sunisika pai asisa badi ganak bolim dinu sadhi Singhasan Prabhu Paduka Baithare Nirupadi. Sri Bharata, having received blessings and having determined the auspicious occasion of auspicious time for commencing his royal responsibility, he placed the sandals of Rama on the royal throne, and all this happened without any problem or any difficulty. Rama Matu Guru Padasirunai Prabhupada Pit Rajaya Supai Nandi Gamakari Paran Kutira Kinna Nivas Dharma Duradhira. Having offered adorations to Kaushalya Devi, the mother of Rama, and sage Vasishtha, and having received permission from the sandals of Lord Rama, Bharata, who is the holder of the wheel of Dharma, having created a Paranakuti, a leafy cottage in Nandigram, he began to abide in it, live in it. All this has subtle spiritual implication, and that's Bharata is Bhakti Yoga. The role of Bhakti Yoga in your movement towards attaining enlightenment. Always remember, Rama is Jnana. Jnana as sadhana, Jnana as the absolute goal. Lakshmana is dhyana, meditation. Bharata is bhakti. And Shatrughna is karma. So all four yogas, they must blend in one's life. But the highlight of the blending is bhakti. If Bharata's role is not there, the Ramayana will be sapless, essenceless, tasteless. So, the importance of bhakti is being highlighted through the personality of Bharata. Whatever Bharata is doing, those are the requirements for developing devotion to God, bhakti. What are the things that Bharata is doing again? All these highly allegorical. Jata jut sir muni patadhari, mahis khanik khush santhari samari, asana basana basana bratanema, karat katin rishi dharam saprema. He has placed his hairs in matted locks, and his clothing is the clothing of rishis, sages. Having dug into the earth, he has created an internal cave-like residence for himself. And in that residence, he sits on the kusha grass. All this should not be taken literally. Literally, you can do that to some extent. But the real meaning behind, no matter how you work out to have matted locks in your head, you don't become a sage. So developing matted locks simply implies your focus on awakening Ajna Chakra and highlighting Sahasrara Chakra. So if that becomes your focus in your sadhana, your vasanas are your hair. They go through amazing transformations. They become jata, matted locks. And from those matted locks, Jnana Ganga begins to flow. The knowledge that leads to liberation. So all that movement of opening Ajna Chakra, drawing from Sahasrara Chakra, if that movement becomes active in an aspirant, your hair has been well dressed now. No matter how it looks, in reality, it is all snowy white with matted locks. And your sadhana itself becomes antaranga sadhana, a sadhana that is preparing for Rama to come into the heart. The heart is Ayodhya. And Bharata is waiting for Rama to come into Ayodhya. Until then, he will continue to be in Nandi Gram. Nandi term again is from Ananda. That spiritual center that brings out Ananda, Anandamaya, sitting on kusha grass, implying bhakti and vivek. Rather better still, vairagya and viveka. Viveka means self alone is real. Not self is not. So not is self. So that type of subtle insight goes on developing, and at the same time, you begin to develop vairagya, dispassion, detaching from the world of eat, drink, be merry, detaching from Vishaya Vasanas. So that's the implication of Bharata finding his place for meditation, seated on kusha grass. Asana basana basana bratanema, karat katin rishi dharam saprema. And following all spiritual disciplines. That's called Rishi Dharma. how the rishis conduct themselves. There is strict discipline in the matters of what type of food you eat, it's what type of clothes you wear, even the vessels you use. These are external features of discipline. Sattvic food, sattvic dress, sattvic vessels being used. Vratas and niyamas, and different types of fasting, and different observances. But when you go after all this, life becomes deeply involved in austerity. And austerity has a kind of a dry aspect. Your heart doesn't receive delight of love. So what you are being told, that if you are becoming more and more interested in living an ascetic life, don't forget to develop devotion to God. If you don't develop devotion to God, all that you now experience is the seriousness of austerities. But once the devotion comes in, all your austerities become saras, begins to develop delight about it. And this is the most important point. The highlight is develop devotion to God, how to awaken love of God in your heart, how to feel supported by God even when you repeat your mantras, how to feel closeness with God through your prayers. How do you feel closeness to God while relating to near and dear ones? All the movement of bhakti has to be understood. And that bhakti movement again is progressive. You don't become a big bhakta at once, but gradually you enable your mind to be blessed with bhakti. Love of the world continues, but that's the obstacle to bhakti. Love of the world is karma-based love, love for fulfilling your desires. That's the type of love you fall into. But the love of God is a soaring movement. Bhushan basana bhoga sukha bhuri, manatana bachana tane tinaturi, avadha raju surar raju sihai, dasharatha dhanu suni dhanadu lajai. Bharata gave up ornaments, those rich dresses, and involved his mind, body, and his words, thought, word, and deed, away from pleasures of the senses. Pleasures of the senses, termed as vyasan. When you have vyasan, you are not assimilating spiritual food. Spiritual food is asan, shishta asan. Just to remind you, vyasan, when we talk about, 7 points are involved in vyasan. Tan, man, dhan, krodh, vishaya, rajya, sevak. Let me explain that. Tan Your mind is always after how to make your body appear good, not be healthy, but make the body appear the best. You can imagine now all the attention. The whole world is there before you. And watch the people and see how many prints they have brought into their bodies, how their hair goes into so many directions. And they are constantly busy trying to change the appearance. So that type of attention is attention to body that intensifies dehadhyas, body identity. But when you are allowing your body to be really healthy by your yoga exercises, sattvic food, and all healthy habits, that movement enables you to be free of body identity. Real health means you are not concerned with your body. Body is not the weight on your head. Or it becomes automatic. You don't remind yourself, I'm not the body, I'm not the body. You are very healthy, who cares for the body? It automatically mind switches from body identity to your real identity. Next point, similarly, with relation to mind, just go on pleasing your mind. Go after the whims of your mind. Follow the philosophy of be merry, not real happiness, but merriment, not peppermint. Here again, you have to understand, you possess a relaxed mind if you are following a disciplined daily life, a time to wake up, a time to do japa, do your meditations, your exercises. You walk, do walking, etc. If things are done day by day in a disciplined manner, your mind feels joyous. Your daily works become much more skillful. You enjoy the spiritual luxury of being punctual, timely, DIN, do it now, alertness. But when you follow the moods of your mind, then you remain moody all the time. So all these called vyasan, tan, man. Next vyasan comes from dhan. Suddenly your mind becomes so addicted to the idea of having material wealth that all your progress is measured by how much wealth you have. How wealthy are you? Billionaire. You don't have to have a billion, but even with little wealth that you have, you become so addicted to dependence on money. For every problem, your mind repeats the mantra. If I have wealth, if you have money, I will resolve it. Everything has a cost. Tan, man, dhan. So your body, your mind, your wealth, they all become basis of vyasana, luxury. Next type of vyasana is krodha, anger. Dealing with people, you develop a special type of attitude. Instead of going through calm and soft way of, gracious way of handling things, you simply act with anger, wrath, and quote the example of the righteous wrath practiced by sages. But your wrath has nothing to do with righteousness, but just to do what your ego wants. Many people get many things done by constantly keeping anger ready on their lips, in their eyes, in their eyebrows. And it stretches out in your hands and feet. That's called krodh. Next vyasan is vishaya, objects of pleasure. You line up your refrigerator with lots of sweets. Sweets from Amritsar, sweets from Bombay. And along with it, hang down the ingredients behind the sweets. This I'm giving you allegorical description of enjoying Vishaya Ras, all sense pleasures, how pleasant it has been. You visited a hotel, you visited some place. If you are inspired in a spiritual way, remembering all those visits is wonderful. But you are inspired, not inspired, but led by drinking and dancing, and I'm not talking about the sattvic dances, the rajasic, tamasic pleasure. Then that's called Vishaya Sukha. And if you are after this type of sense pleasure in a senseless manner, then becomes a vyasana. Next vyasana is rajya. Rajya means your power. Everyone wants to be a ruler. You can look at even the animals. How the father in the animal group wants to be the ruler of the whole group. So no matter how little you may possess, it's not dependent on how much you possess. But the illusion that you are so great because of your possession, because how you look, because of all these worldly details, that's called rajya. And next point, how many attendants do you have? Sevak, servants. Old style history, kings were very proud to have lots of people serving them. To describe the glory of a king, historians will write, oh, that king had 1,000 maid servants, 1,000 big servants, thousands of attendants who worked like slaves, and they have a count for it. How many? Just to repeat the point, 7 vyasanas: tan, body; man, mind; dhan, wealth; krodh, anger; vishaya, sense objects; rajya, power; sevak, attendants. These 7 points, if they begin to dominate your mind, then you are moving towards Vyasan. And Vyasan means it goes on intensifying klishta samskaras, ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death. Bharata adopted a lifestyle that was not meant not to encourage vyasanas in his personality, away from vyasan. So bhushan, vasan, bhoga, sukha, bhuri, all these vyasanas Bharata renounced. Avadha Raju Sur Raju Sihai Dasharatha Dhanu Sunidhanadu Lajai. That Ayodhya, the kingdom of Ayodhya, that was coveted by Indra himself, and the wealth of King Dasharatha that excelled even Kubera's wealth. Kubera is the god of wealth. But why all that happened? Because kingdom of Ayodhya is moksha, liberation. Dasharatha worked for moksha, not for swarga. So it is that Ayodhya was the kingdom for Bharata in the absence of Rama. In other words, moksha was the goal before Bharata all the time. Tehi pura basat Bharata binuraga Chancharika jim champaka baga Rama vilasu Rama anuragi Tajata baman jimi janajara barabhagi. So in that Ayodhya Puri, Bharata lived a life of vairagya, dispassion, and detachment. He had all the Ayodhya and all the power before him, but his mind was not attached to bhoga, enjoyment aspect. His mind was involved with moksha, liberation. Allegorically describing it, just like a black bee in an orchard of jasmine flowers. The black bee goes on buzzing and is not satisfied with the nectar that it goes on drawing. It's not drinking for itself. It sips the nectar, goes into another bunch of flowers, and spills out the nectar. In that process, the pollens are being distributed in different flowers. So the real purpose for the black bee is not his own satisfaction for enriching the garden. That's the real purpose. Those who are extremely fortunate, Badabhagi, who are Badabhagis, extremely fortunate, who have developed love of Rama. Love of Rama is Ishwara Bhakti. It can be love of Shiva, love of Durga Devi, love of Krishna. Any Ishta Devata is Rama, is Brahman. And if you have love of Rama, you renounce the Vyasanas. Bhoga and Aishwarya is another term used for the same. Bhoga Aishwarya, which relate to the seven Vyasanas. You renounce them just like you renounce the vomits that come out of your mouth. Do not put the vomits back into the refrigerator. You have to always also understand this is a progressive movement. And there is, from external point of view, there is no apparent difference whether you are practicing vyasana or you are practicing vairagya. That's your internal attitude. Everyone has to attend to the body, but how much it is a vyasana, if it is unnecessary dependence on the body, it becomes vyasana. Necessary, then it is perfectly commendable. And same applies with all 7 points. Rama prem bhajan bharatu, bade nahi kartuti, chatak hans sarahiyat, tek vivek vibhuti. Bharata is well qualified for Ram's bhakti, devotion. He has not grown on the basis of vyasanas. And this is not a great achievement for Bharata. Being dispassionate towards all vyasanas, that's the greatest achievement in the world. When we say greatest, it stirs your mind with a sense of doing something so heavy, so profound, as if you are carrying a big burden on your shoulder and praising your shoulder. But when you are well qualified, all the burden you are carrying is just cotton fibers, silky threads, they are light. So for a devotee, carrying big burdens in a delightful way, that's not it seems like such a big work he's doing. But for a devotee, it's not a big work at all. It's a delightful work. He's not carrying the burden as you think he's carrying. Bharata's glory can be allegorically described as Chataka's love. Chataka is a type of a bird that loves to be united with the moon and has a strange divine connection. And similarly, Hansa, swan, has the instinctive quality of separating milk from water. Chataka bird gives you the suggestion that bhakti must be a delightful vision for your mind. Your mind should become the Chataka bird, waiting to enjoy profound devotion to God. And the God must shine like the moon. And the Chataka bird is intent upon enjoying the shower of grace coming from the moon. And similarly, your soul must become like a swan, decked with viveka, discriminative knowledge. Deh dinahu dine du bar hoi, ghatai teju balu, mukh chabi soi. Day by day, Bharata is losing his weight. If he was 200 pounds, day by day, it's decreasing. The body is becoming thinner, day by day. Ghatai teju balu. And the body's vigor that depends upon food and drink and all the calorie-based valor of your body, now there is developing a negative. The body doesn't have that valor. Books have soi. But the joy of the face, the joy that radiates, the beauty that radiates to the face, Brahmavarachas, the Brahmic effulgence, that remains unshaken. It's an allegorical description. A disciplined life means you are not counting your progress on the basis of increasing your weight. You're not counting your progress on the basis of how many calories you can absorb, but how much love of God you are gaining in your heart, how much control you have over your senses, how much advanced you are in your viveka, in your practice of sadhana. Nitanava Rama prema panupina, Bharata dharma dhalu manana malina. Nitanava Rama prem. Love for Rama goes on increasing day by day. And that love is becoming stronger more and more. Dharma, strength of dharma is increasing. Manna malina, mind doesn't turn towards sadness, but the mind goes after gladness, cheerfulness. Jimi jalu nighatat sarad prakase, vilasat vetas banaja vikase, samadama sanjam niyam upasa, nakat bharata hiya bimala akasa. Just like in wintry season, water decreases in lakes, but canes abound. They grow in a magnanimous way. But what are the canes that grow? The whole bhakti movement is like welcoming Sharad Ritu, that type of season where the sky becomes free of clouds and the moon begins to shine brighter and brighter. And it is mystic coolness that begins to reduce your worldly desires. They're like lake decreasing. Then all the great qualities, they are like the forest of canes. And that forest flourishes. What are the things that flourish? Shama, controlling the mind and senses. Controlling the mind is Shama. Dhamma, controlling the senses. Samyama, practicing yamas and niyamas and various spiritual practices like fasting, etc. Result of all this, the heart becomes like the wintry sky, autumn sky, Sharad Ritu. And that autumn sky, look into the sky, see the full moon, along with countless stars. And beyond the stars, the Milky Way, all begin to shine. Allegorically, this is a description of spiritual experience. And with this experience, we will conclude. Om. Om. Ram, 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Rasa grace of God over all of you with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukuva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat.